Students from Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology bring STEM to remote schools. A young boy urges people to go vegetarian with reason and compassion. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Jenny Lee. Thank you for joining us. An associate professor at Tzu Chi University of Science and Technology, Luo Shufen, brings the latest 3D printing technology to indigenous children in remote areas.
Entering the tribe is actually quite a special thing because we're at Tzu Chi, which is a Buddhist school. Those in the tribe want to ask if we have any special religious education purpose when we come. After people get along with people are sincere, and when we first accompany them and then see if the people in the tribe understand.
如果你们想要放颜色，要放在哪里？放在这里啊。对，那放完之后要按什么？对，要按着哦，持续按着，它颜色才会跑出来。
There are a lot of elementary schools in the city that are already doing 3D printing. However, the children of this tribe have no chance to encounter this. If we can use some projects and some funding to address this issue today, then the students of the tribe can learn this.
I think 3D printing is difficult to use, but for me, it gives me a sense of accomplishment.
You have to think carefully about this because today we're using 48 mm. So when we print today, it might be 0.2 centimeter thick. Will this cover be too thin for the area? This is also a question you must consider.
I never heard anything about 3D printing before the teacher talked about this in the class. I didn't know what it is used for. Then when the teacher introduced it to use and we got to experience it, I found it to be interesting. In fact, I haven't encountered anything like this.
At that time, it was teacher Luo who told us to join the competition and then do these 3D prints. This isn't something that is normally associated with our undergraduate department when we go into rural areas and teach them. At that time, I felt that it was a very big challenge.
Our children in rural areas have relatively scarce resources, but if we can overcome these shortages, we can catch up to the children in urban areas. If we have the same comparison basis and level playing field, I believe that we will also perform well, so I think it is possible for them to improve their lives.
I'm going to introduce you to a special product. Reduced body weight. Do you want to try it? It's Taiwan iron jelly.
At first I was very nervous and I didn't know how to talk to the reviewers, but after I spoke to a few people I became less and less nervous. The reviewer came and I was not very nervous. It went very smoothly, so this time I learned a lot.
No matter what the results will be for us at this event, I think at least they learned something different. I think this entire trip has allowed them to experience something that they would not normally do for another 30 years. That is to say, for someone like me, I may have to wait until I'm 40 or 50 years old to participate in an international expo. But these children are just 13 and 15 years old. They were able to accomplish such a thing. I think that the entire axis of their entire lives has been changed by us, as now they will know what the world is so big.
In Cambodia, Tzu Chi cooperated with a local NGO, Union of Youth Federations of Cambodia, to distribute 1,000 bags of rice to 500 sanitation workers and their family. Here's the footage.
The truck carrying Tzu Chi's rice slowly drove into the Union of Youth Federations of Cambodia. During the epidemic outbreak, Tzu Chi cooperated with local NGOs to host aid distribution. The first batch of 8 families was 500 sanitation workers.
This group of sanitation workers usually cleans the park and collects garbage. Actually, their lives are generally difficult.
Before distribution, the Union of Youth Federations has carried out adequate preventative measures. Tzu Chi volunteers, on behalf of Master Zheng Yan, also expressed their condolences to these families.
I, on behalf of our master and Tzu Chi volunteers throughout the world, wish everyone good health and pass through this epidemic safely.
No matter how many family members there are, volunteers gave 40 kilograms of rice to each household.
This rice allows us to eat for a month, so our living expenses can be saved to buy other food. I really appreciate your help.
I'm very glad to receive these 2 packages of rice, which are enough for our family to eat for a while.
These people have made a great contribution to society. Usually we don't have a chance to thank them. So today we show our gratitude through giving them rice, which can also relieve some of their financial burden.
1,000 packages of rice were quickly distributed with the cooperation of the 2 organizations. It is believed that this rice of love can temporarily accompany them through the difficult times.
Under Malaysia's movement control order, many parents are frustrated because they do not have the time or resources to help their kids with online learning. Here's some advice from a child psychologist. Take a look.
To decrease the spread of the novel coronavirus, the Malaysian government has a movement control order until at least June 9th. The country's educational system from kindergarten to university has closed down, and the students have taken to online learning as their form of education. Though this new way of learning has been in place for more than 2 months, most of the parents are still sorting out the bugs. Such as single parent Suba, who has 3 children to raise. She has given up her cell phone so the kids may join the online learning. Of course, during this learning period, she's also come up against many obstacles.
My phone is not good, it's old, so I can't connect to the teaching site. The teacher will use WhatsApp to send homework to the kids. I don't understand science or history homework at all, and I'll need to call the teachers to ask them for help.
Meanwhile, this parent, who also has 3 children, is unable to find a balance between keeping up with the children's learning and the household chores.
I don't know how to use it very much. The kids will ask the teachers themselves, and the teachers will help them. If they don't do their homework, the principal will call me. I can only spend time with their learning when I'm done with household chores. Sometimes when I'm making meals, they'll start playing electronic games. The homework I know I'll teach them, but those I don't, they will need to ask the teacher. A lot of their homework is hard.
It seems common problems for these parents are that they don't have the equipment to facilitate the learning nor the time, to which Dr. Kimberly Kong of Early Childhood Education of Child Psychology from University of Science, Malaysia says, parents must fulfill their duty.
I think, first of all, parents need to recognize that they like it or not, they have just been hired to become co-teachers. So parents need to engage with the school. They need to complement and supplement the learning. Keep in communication with your teachers. The other way is you need to network with other parents as well to find out what are the resources that they can all leverage upon.
As educators themselves, these parents feel differently about the way they educate their children.
Some lessons which are not found in textbooks are difficult. We have met some which are tough, but it's okay. The tough questions, we can learn about them together. I have some reference guides. We can look up the answers.
The research we learn, the time we spend on it, it becomes our knowledge to keep. So no matter how difficult the journey is, when you can stand independently, you can do anything.
For the other parents who are very, very busy, let's face it, life is very, very busy, maybe more so during the lockdown. But I think parents need to carve out that time to spend that time with their children. You have to make sure that your child sticks to a routine. Parental monitoring and supervision is still very important.
Education gives life to hope. Thus, a child's learning needs the cooperation of both the family and the school.
To many impoverished families, online learning without a computer is out of question. A Malaysian Tzu Chi volunteer uses his knowledge and expertise to repair second-hand computers for students in need.
It seems hard to dismantle because this is from a big brand. The more famous the brand, the harder it is to dismantle. These were all computers given to the recycling station. We will check if there is still a chance to repair it. Most importantly is to check the motherboard to see if we can turn it on or not. If it's still functioning, then we will find ways to fix it.
Recycling volunteer Tzu Chi is currently working from home due to the movement restriction order. Though he's unable to serve at the recycling station now, he has focused on repairing used computers.
When doing recycling, we talk about 5R. One of the R means repair. Hence, if we can repair anything, we will do our best to fix it. I'm an engineer myself. I normally install and replace things myself if it's broken. Of course, computers of different brands have different installation methods, but I can learn from YouTube to see how others do it and learn from them.
Despite the complicated process of repairing computers, Tzu Chi persisted in his motivation to help children's education.
Sometimes a computer can take many days to finish repairing. If I work on 5 computers and saved one of them, then I got a 20% success rate. It's not just about the computer, but for the children. We've been trying to help the impoverished, and the most important thing is education. This computer is not just a computer, but a chance that can change a child and a family.
Schools were forced to shut down due to the pandemic. Online classes have become the teachers' and students' platform to ensure students' learning. Tzu Chi volunteers started to deliver second-hand computers to ensure that care recipient children's education won't be affected.
Hello, Bakatin, Nalini. 好吗?
On this day, Tzu Chi volunteers deliver a second-hand computer for the care recipient children.
Zoom is here. It's downloaded already. The Wi-Fi is also on. This is the Wi-Fi.
This care recipient child is in 4th grade, the only child who understands Chinese in her family. Through interactions with Tzu Chi volunteers, she has gradually learned how to use a computer to take classes. Volunteers' patience and teaching have solved this family's urgent need.
I don't know anything about this, and she would ask her teachers or classmates' moms when she has a problem because they are Chinese. She would ask them and study it herself.
Volunteers fix used computers to extend their value, and this great love has brought hope for these children, allowing them to change their fate with knowledge.
Li Cheng-en, a 10-year-old boy who has been a vegetarian since birth. He believes the vegetarian diet could help people get essential nutrition and foster compassion. He has promoted benefits of the diet to many friends and hope more people will become vegetarians.
If you think that you won't grow tall because of a vegetarian diet or may not be so healthy, take a look at me.
11-year-old Li Cheng'en is a very confident young boy. He is 155 centimeters tall and weighs 45 kilograms. He's already a vegetarian in his mother's stomach before he was born.
Being a vegetarian allows you to get more nutrients, and also you will not kill sentient beings for meat.
From youth, he has loved animals as he has a soft heart, as he can't bear to see animals hurt.
At the fishing port, I heard everyone scream that there was an ocean sunfish on shore. They were all happy to see the fish, though when I went to the fishing boat, I saw that the fish was hung up and the whole body was covered with blood. He started crying as he thought, how could they let the fish die? I think he has a lot of human compassion.
He usually cooks with his mother at home, washing rice and cooking everything together. His specialty is tomato with scrambled eggs.
When he was a child, I fed him breast milk, and then when he started eating was vegetables and fruits. This is what I gave him, as he has exhibited normal and natural development on the growth curve. In fact, he has met all of the standards, and no one says his development is slow, and his mental ability has also become quite good.
With a balanced intake of nutrients, Li Cheng'en is not picky about his food, and he even eats bitter melon, which most children avoid. The whole family is vegetarian. Knowing that a good environment is important, he started promoting vegetarian food seriously.
I will first take him to a vegetarian restaurant that I find very tasty. I will let him taste it. If he still doesn't like it, I will ask him to think about the fact that the vegetarian diet can save a lot of animals and forests. Dharma Master Zhen Yan said that as long as we keep fewer livestock animals, they won't have to cut down the forest to grow feed for the animals.
Cheng'en participates in his school's martial arts club, cultivating good physical fitness. He still eats more fruits and vegetables and stays away from meat, as vegetarian food has been enough for him to be very healthy, which is proof that such a diet is good for all of us.
In Tainan, Tzu Chi volunteers have come up with creative ways to promote vegetarianism. One is by preparing vegetarian meal boxes daily for the local government and communities. The other is to issue coupons for people to redeem at vegetarian restaurants.
Cooking vegetables of various colors, Tainan Tzu Chi volunteers were making delicious vegetarian meal boxes. While the meal boxes were still warm, volunteers immediately delivered it. The elders in the care center are all happy. The chairman of the local community development association is also a vegetarian and has been spreading awareness to adopt a vegetarian diet all along.
I hope that everyone can adopt a vegetarian diet, hoping that the pandemic can end soon. I think this is a good thought.
Tzu Chi Shanhua Liaison Office provides 500 meal boxes each day for the local government departments and communities. Those who did not receive the meal boxes can also head to the restaurant to select dishes. Restaurant owners are also happy to see policemen buying takeout meal boxes using the discount coupons.
Overall, this is all very good. No matter it's for the earth or economy, it's all very good.
Some police officers even help their colleagues to buy vegetarian lunch boxes so that everyone can adopt a vegetarian diet easily.
It's not very convenient for policemen to head out to buy vegetarian meals, but the vegetarian coupon provided by Tzu Chi has solved this issue.
The vegetarian coupons allows the policemen who are on duty for a long time to be able to take their meals freely and also take care of their physical and mental health.
Jiang Baole suffers from congenital hydrocephalus. His grandparents adopted him when he was just 5 days old. On his 10th birthday, Tzu Chi volunteers made a cake to wish him happy birthday.
It is Jiang Baole's 10th birthday celebration, and with his grandparents and the Tzu Chi volunteers' cheers, he can hardly hide his happiness.
间，先把我当下。哇，这是我送给你的礼物。
With his hydrocephalus condition, he was abandoned by his mother upon birth. However, Huang Lifen and her husband adopted him from the orphanage and cares for him like their own.
People often think we have a difficult time caring for Bao Le, but actually he's our blessing. If it was just two of us, we would have found life to be boring with one another. With Bao Le here, he just simply makes us laugh and it makes lives more interesting.
In 2015, Tzu Chi volunteers began caring for this family of 3, and the years of friendship has brought everyone closer together.
It's moving to see the senior take care of him like her own grandchild. We are here to learn from her, so that's why we have continued our care. Now it's like we are family.
On the day of the birthday, Ling Hongnam brought her grandchildren to wish brother Bao Le a happy birthday. The 3 hold hands and make a wish together.
那以后会每天投竹筒吗？
会。
投竹筒要做什么？
要就苦就烂。哦。就宝乐给我的。
哦，宝乐为什么要拿竹筒给你啊？
他要让我做善事。
Though he has been plagued with sickness all his life, 10-year-old Bao Le looks at life in a positive way and helps to teach those around him wisdom they can't gain elsewhere.
After nearly 30 years of recycling, 87-year-old Hong Wang Suhua is still in good health. As one of the many senior recycling volunteers, she is contributing in action and in spirit. Let's see the story.
Every morning before her son goes to work, Hong Wang Suhua gets driven to the local recycling station.
You haven't gone out for exercise for a while now. You didn't go out for a walk. I didn't leave the day before yesterday.
The 10-minute drive is a time for an intimate conversation between the mother and son. She was unable to do environmental protection in the past few years.
After the surgery, she spent some time at home. She was bored every day, sitting there watching TV and falling asleep. There's nothing for her to do. Here, at least there's still something to keep her busy.
Upon returning to the recycling station, she seems quite energetic. At 87 years old, her husband died prematurely, leaving her to run the business and raise 4 children. She lived a busy life, and her neighbor, Li Luhe, inspired her to do recycling together 30 years ago.
If she can't sleep, she'll collect recycling. I said don't go so early. Sometimes it's too late to pick it up. As I also said, don't go too late. She's very hardworking, and at that time there was only 1 truck a month.
I've done it all the way to now. You can see my hand is deformed, but it doesn't matter. My hand can still move, and if it doesn't move for a while, it will become stiff.
After decades of hard work, both hands are bent and deformed, but they bear witness that these hands have lived a fulfilling life.
I didn't know much when working, but I have received so much. Yes, I have been lucky.
In Toronto, Tzu Chi donates PPE to senior citizen homes to support healthcare workers' fight against COVID-19. We'll leave you with the footage. Thank you for watching. See you next time.